Alrighty, this is going to be a new video on creating segmentations, or what we call group surfaces from paths. I've already loaded some image data here, you can see in the 3D window, and paths. These are paths that are created along all the different branches, even some of the smaller ones here that you can see in the image data. But I'm just going to use this aorta path here to show you how to create some segmentations along that path. So the first thing you want to do is create a new 2D group surface. So the way you do that is you go to Surface Operations here and create 2D group surface. I'm going to call mine aorta. Once again, the GUI may be slightly different. This is the current version. If you have a slightly older version, this functionality should still be there, maybe in a slightly different location. Second thing we want to do is make sure we select the correct current path for our 2D group surface. In this case, like I said, aorta. And then we want to set ourselves up in the window over here for segmentation. The way we do that is we've got a couple of shortcuts set up. The first one is toggle branch control defaults. We'll turn that on. You can see a slice plane and a path show up over here in our 3D window. This is the aorta path, and then this slice plane is what we're going to use to go along that path and create 2D segmentations. And the other one we want to toggle on is toggle 2D window defaults, and that will turn on these windows down here, which are called our 2D reslice windows, which show the image intensity and the potential of the image. And so what we do now is we can scroll along our path, and you can see our what we call the intensity probe move along this path. I'm going to turn off the point cloud. And so what we're going to want to do is start at the top of our path, and we will create a segmentation here. I'll start off with a level set segmentation, and the way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to click in these boxes here, hit enter. You can see here that a yellow and a red circle show up. The yellow is the initial from these stage 1 parameters, and the red is from these stage 2 parameters. And so once I've got a segmentation that I like, what I do is I click add to group, and that will add this segmentation at current position 0 of our path to our 2D group surface. And so you go about creating a lofted surface in a 2D group surface in this way. So we'll go to spot 18, do the same thing. As you can see, our red circle shows up, click add to group, and now you can see something here in the 3D window. It's automatically updated with this new surface. And so this is kind of how you can see how your segmentations are going to end up creating a vessel, and can help you kind of situate your segmentations to make sure you don't have any weird kinks in the surface, or too many too close, or not enough. For example, say I have these first two, and I don't know, I didn't really think about it. I'm going to create a segmentation here and add to group. Oh no, that looks pretty terrible. So now, obviously, I can see, okay, I think I need a segmentation here. Okay, I'm going to add to group. Okay, still looks funky because I've got a few segmentations up here, and I can actually see those segmentations if I go over here to group visualization and display groups. And so I still want to add some segmentations. Go here, add to group. Okay, looking a little bit better now. So let's keep going. Add to group. All right, starting to look pretty nice. Add to group. Cool. This is looking pretty sweet. Okay, let's go maybe right here. Click add to group. didn't create the segmentation there. I can move the center of this sphere, and as you can see, it updated, and now I created segmentation. So now add to group, and that's looking pretty nice. If we want to see how this whole surface lines up with our image data, we can go over here to perspective shortcuts and show selected surface cross-section. What this will do is along this lofted surface, group surface, the one that's selected here in our window, it'll show it in blue what it looks like compared to the image data. So I can scroll through, and as you can see down here, you can check it out, how well you're doing with your segmentations. So it looks like where I've created segmentations, it looks like I'm doing a really good job, but it looks like there's some spaces in between where the interpolation is missing the image data. So I'm looking pretty good up here, but if I were to be doing this for real, I would have a few more segmentations in here to make sure I'm actually capturing my vessel the way I want. And another thing you can play with to manipulate how this interpolation is done is in the lofting parameters. If you want to save these, you can over here for later use, but you can change how often sample along the length of the vessel circumferentially, or this is the circumferential one, along the length here, and then you can actually use Fourier smoothing if you want, so Fourier modes. So if we turn that on and update selected solids, kind of see we smoothed it out. I'm going to bump that up to see if we can see a more drastic change. And you can see a little bit of change in it. Go back to 20. And so you can see a slight change in the model when we do that. And so that's another thing you can do to kind of play with how this is actually lofted. So hopefully that helps you create some vessels from your paths. And if there's any questions, post here or in the forums. And hope you have some awesome times of vasculating. All right, take care. Bye.